Namaste. And you might be asking, what is the Age of Aquarius? This term is being thrown around a lot these days, and we are really living in quite an amazing precipice of time, because truly the phase in which we're in as humanity from a Western astrological standpoint is changing. We have been in the age of Pisces. An age, so to speak, lasts approximately over 2,000 years. So it's a long period of time where the collective consciousness has certain themes, lessons, and karmic directions it's meant to go towards so that it can up-level and learn, because that's why we're all here. So we have these individual lessons and then these collective lessons. And so I'm going to be speaking today about the collective. So the Age of Aquarius, what does this mean? Well, first of all, temporally, when is this age begin? And it's debated, hotly actually. Some people say it was at the dawn of the 1950s, when technology, and even a little before that, when the first flight happens with the airplanes. So basically, Aquarius energy is synced up and known for the quickening, the air energy. A lot of people think it's water energy because you think Aquarius and it can sound watery, but it's actually air energy. So in the time when airplanes first birthed, some astrologers say that was the beginning, more aligned with like the Industrial Revolution time. Other people say it's more like the 1950s, when we started to have the washers and all those, in at least the Western world, apparatuses that helped us quicken the pace of our day-to-day life, which you could argue actually did other things that weren't so great, but in the way of efficiency and time, the 1950s is another marker, some people say. Some people say it happened December 2020. There's this conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, Saturn, the planet of rules and constriction. And they came together and it was considered the beginning. And globally, we were going through so much. And this is the case. Other astrologers say it's 2026 for other reasons. But when you think about in the course of 2,000 years, it's really, and most astrologers say right now. And so what does this mean? Well, it's an opportunity to up-level, because Aquarian energy is all about collective consciousness coming together, about oneness. The understanding that our vibration affects the whole. And it's also the teaching and really wisdom that we are made up of vibration and we can affect our own vibrational state on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis. So again, it's a lot about the collective energy and how can we make choices rooted in love, rooted in alignment, so that it serves the whole, yet also allows us to be our unique selves. Because Aquarian energy is a lot about beating to the sound of our own drum, the rhythm of our own drum, and really being individualistic. So I like to think about it as like a big puzzle piece. And if the puzzle is like love and harmony and humanity, Aquarian energy is about how each one of us is a unique puzzle piece that fits into this bigger puzzle. And it's about honoring the uniqueness and the differences, and yet figuring out ways to come together to make the puzzle complete and think about the whole macro view. So something you can ask yourself in the Age of Aquarius and contemplate, because our energy affects the energy of the whole. And this is truly speaking. We know that a butterfly flaps its wings on a beach somewhere, and it affects the weather pattern at the whole opposite end of this world. I mean, that's mind-blowing. And so you can think about your own individual patterns, like your wings flying on a daily basis. So you could journal and contemplate a few questions. One being, what are activities and situations that lower my vibration? Maybe it's even certain people hanging around them. So invite yourself to contemplate and write a few of those down for yourself. And you can pause this video or do it later. Then you can contemplate and write down, What are activities that raise my vibration? Maybe it's people, maybe it's circumstances, and write those down. And then you can contemplate and do a little writing about, if I imagine my life in gratitude, abundance, love, all the time, what would that look like? And what could I accomplish? What would that look like? If all of the time you were remembering and continually aligning with your highest vibration and most skillful self in the way of abundance, in the way of love, in the way of gratitude. What are practices? What are things that come to mind that you could do to help that vision, to help set your vibration, which is energy? Our vibration and energy is something to practice on a daily basis. Our thoughts birth often our feelings, and then our feelings and thoughts, like waves, trickle and become the vibration that we're feeling ourselves and then also emanating out to this world. And so things that we can do and practices that we can perform and situations and circumstances when they're in our control that we can surround ourselves with to help set our vibration and our energy from a higher, more up-level place is the medicine of the Aquarian age, and the invitation, knowing that our vibration and the state of our own energy affects the entire universe, like a puzzle. It affects if it's clicking in and if it's not. So I hope that little tidbit on the Aquarian age is helpful, and I invite you to practice every day, contemplating and getting clear, especially in the morning and all through the day, and then even when we go to bed, because then we dream. Right? Practice little thoughts you can plant in your mind, little practices you can do that you know help raise your vibration. They can be as obvious as breath work, meditation. It could be as simple as drinking a big glass of water. Make a list for you. Sometimes the little things are the big things, and then sometimes the big things are the big things. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.